All right, it is the morning of day 2. Had a pretty decent night last night. I had a hard time staying asleep though, but I've had a hard time staying asleep the past couple nights, even in my bed at home, so I don't think it's quite related. It is stressful to be alone at night with no fire. I'm going to do have my rifle sitting there, safety off, ready to go. Well, the safety's on, but it's ready to go. So I do have that protection quickly accessible, but it does take, 10 seconds or something to get out of a sleeping bag, so it's a bit stressful at night. I'm hoping for some sunshine today. My backup battery is down to 60% from charging up camera and both cameras, and I charged up my MP3 player a bit, but that really doesn't take very much. I did charge up my flashlight quite a bit though. Penny here, she did great. She really likes that. She started to figure out, I think, that the Mylar bubble wrap insulation stuff works really well, and she's shivering a bit right now, but we'll get walking around. She wasn't shivering last night. She just kept licking herself every once in a while, making noise. She like jumped or something in the middle of the night, scared the crap out of me. Woke me up. But today's agenda is to get a fire going, eat some breakfast, and then probably start making some simple tools like a maul and a tripod. I need to make something to dry my clothes off with. My pants are still wet. They're not frozen anymore, but they will be frozen because it's below freezing right now. It's about negative 6 degrees Celsius right now. I'm going to put my snowshoes on. Hopefully I won't get these pants so wet. It might just be that every day I'm going to have to rotate a pair of pants and dry them off, but that's going to be difficult. I'm only planning on one more night. My wife's going to be meeting me here in the afternoon today, and I'll go pick her up and drive her up here with the truck. And I think that's about it. My water is a bit frozen. The tube is totally frozen, but the water bladder itself, I can move it around. There's ice inside of it, but it's doing all right. So once it warms up a bit here, it's going to be a lot better. I could use a bit of a better winter coat. This is just a winter coat that I had in the house. I don't have any fancy winter coat. I definitely should have brought some snow pants. That would have made a big difference. Hopefully my wife will bring some for herself. I doubt she will though, because I didn't mention it to her. But maybe she's likes to be a little extra prepared like me, so she may just bring them just in case, and I hope she does. But let's get this fire going and get some breakfast. Okay, I've still got my fire pit from last night. There's no heat in it or anything, but I've got some kindling and some tinder. We're gonna get this fire going. Let me grab my fire kit here, and I want to try round 2 with some char cloth or some char. Out of the way, dog. She keeps trying to get my attention. No. Yes, you're such a good dog. Yeah. Now go away. Go away. Don't you do that. Don't you do that. Pawing at me. I've got my little bird's nest here. Last time, I didn't process this at all, which very well, dang it, dog, get out of the way so they can see. Out of the way. Didn't process this, which could be why it failed. So I'm going to try to break this up. I know that these are a little bit damp, and I know that they might even be a tiny bit alive, but I really don't see any other tinder around here. So that's what I'm going to try it again. This is just a learning experience. This may not work again, but I want to try again and see if I can get it to work this time. Dang it, dog. Right in my face. Right in my face. Yes. Yeah. Hopefully I can get my cameras warmed up. The charger thinks the batteries are fully charged, but they're not because the camera dies. Okay. Could be just that the batteries are too cold. Alright. Got this little bird's nest going right here. Got a big stack of kindling thing to the side. Let's give this stuff a nice spark. See what she's got. Oh, just hit it. Dang it. Try again. Oh, come on. I'm going to try to do the pull away method. Oh, come on. There we go. There we go. It's a big piece too. That's good. I need to make some more char, it looks like. I kind of disintegrated some of it. Okay. Now, we get down on the ground, get this guy going. Boy, it's a lot of heat. I should have had my gloves here, ready to go in the first place. Come on. Nothing. Dang it. Okay, well, I'm going to try some ferro rod on this for a bit, but I may just have to use a lighter again, which is really disappointing. I thought I could do better than this, but okay, ferro rod is amazing apparently. Ooh, ooh. Just went out. Okay, let's try again. Come on. Okay. Try not to smother it so much this time. Get it going. Get my kindling on there. Oh, come on, come on. Almost smothered it again. There we go. So I could see the smoke was really thick. It's still really thick. Which tells me that it really wants to burn, but it's not quite there. Probably because I'm smothering it. But oh, went up my nose a tiny bit there. I find that the long, slow blows seem to work the best. Come on, this stuff is not quite taken like it really looks like it should. It could be that the ground is absorbing some of the heat. But I think I'll be just fine with this. This stuff's a little bit, this stuff fell in the snow a little bit, but it'll be fine. Still good stuff. Come on. Got my stick over here. Let's got some better stuff on it. This is some standing dead aspen that I found. Feels really good to have a little bit of a fire going. It's going to warm up my fingers, warm up some food. There we go. Let's get some bigger stuff on there now. Keep it on top to keep it from smothering it. Let's get these guys lit because these are what are really going to keep it going. This is not the roaring fire that it looked like it was going to become. It just seems to be going down further, getting smaller. I think it's because everything's either cold or damp a little bit. Well, definitely my natural fire skills are lacking. Hopefully I'll have some time today just to practice just fire again. That's something I really need to work on, it looks like. I don't really want to rely on my ferro rod. I mean, I've got a huge one, and it'll probably last me a long time. Especially if I keep a fire kind of going. It'll last a long time. There we go. Alright, that's going now. Alright, I'm going to get out my cup. We'll heat up some water, and I'll have some oatmeal for breakfast. So I tried to fill up my water bladder, but unfortunately it's totally frozen. Can't really get it open. So, use some snow. Just gonna have to use anyways when I run out of water. I had probably a gallon or something like that in my pack. Trying to avoid these bigger chunks. They're gonna be in there no matter what I do though. They fall all around. Hey you, get out of the camera. Got my batteries and stuff next to the fire. Trying to warm them up. Okay, let's start with that. Actually, we can pound that down. That's good. Good. That is barely any water that I put in there. Dang it, dog. Nobody can see. Nobody can see when you do that. All right. I'm gonna move. She thinks I've got food or something. All right. Set that guy right next to the fire like that. We'll bust out some dog food for the dog. She seems to be very excited for that. Here you go, Penny. There's food for you. Get up and typical. She doesn't want it unless I put something on it. Maybe, maybe. Nope. All right. All right, I found another dead standing tree. Those are my favorite. They're so nice. Especially with my bow saw, I can chop them apart real quick. Watch out, dog. I don't want to lose this water. There we go. I want to get some fire going next to it. The nice part about the dead standing is the bottom is nice and thick. The top is thin with tons of little branches, so you kind of get a nice range of wood that you need right from the same dead tree. Very nice. While that fire is heating up my breakfast water, I think I'll go through some of my gear for you guys that haven't seen my channel before. So I've got this, I believe it's a 65 liter backpack. The maybe it's a 40,000, maybe it's like a 40 liter or something like that. But it's a really big bag. It can hold a ton of weight, hold a ton of stuff. I've got this solar panel and battery combo. You probably saw me using this before. This battery has 3 USB outputs and one 12 volt output. You can also do 9 volt out the 12 volt. Jeez, dog. You act like you haven't had any attention today. Inside of this solar outputs a 12 volt charger cable, which charges this guy perfectly. It's also got some USB outputs as well. It folds out this dog, 4 panels. This is a, I believe it's 27 watts of power, which is kind of overkill for the only electronics I have besides cameras. I wouldn't bring the cameras on a real Bugout. Is lights and radio. So I've got 2 lights. I have a third one that I've been testing out and I brought it with me. So I've got 3 flashlights right now and 1 radio. Let me show you those. So these can be charged by that, and that solar panel is a bit overkill for this amount of electronics. But I also carry the power from my wife. This is my radio. This is a Woshon or Waxon or whatever however you pronounce it, KGUV 2D radio. This guy's pretty nice. I got a little telescoping antenna for it. This dog is shivering. What are you shivering for? This guy is really nice because it does the standard Walmart radios that you can buy, and it also does ham radio frequencies. So it's really nice like that. You can do ham radio stuff, which I'll be using to contact my wife today, and the Walmart stuff, which is what most people have seen and own. The little walkie-talkies. Still doing good. Would you look at that? I move, and she's like, "Oh, this is nice. Oh, it's so nice, isn't it?" All right, whatever. I'll squat here for a bit. My fire kit. In here, I've got some steel wool, some fire discs. I purchased some from the Pathfinder store just to kind of compare them to the fire discs I can make home. I really couldn't see a difference. They're the ones on the bottom here. On the top here, the ones I made at home. These are just those facial wipes, just thin facial wipes you can just buy at the dollar store for $1. You get 100 of them. These two are stuck together, but that's fine. So this should be half that. These two are stuck together, and you just dip them in paraffin wax. So you go to the dollar store, buy a wax candle, buy 100 of the facial wipes. So it's $2, and then you just heat it up and dip it, and that's it. Great fire starter. It's waterproof. You just shred it, hit it with a spark. They're really nice. I've got all sorts of little cables and stuff. This is the 12-volt cable for this battery here, which fits my cameras and everything. So I've standardized all of my electronics on micro USB, or this, I think it's 5.5 by 2.3 or something. I can't remember. I have a lot of videos where I mention it, but it's a standard barrel plug, and I've changed the adapters on many of these devices. This one I changed it to be the standard size. That way all my electronics that charge on 12 volt charge from the same plug, so I don't have to carry a whole bunch of different ones. This is the cable bag that goes with my electronics. I've got a couple different little USB adapters there. These are radio earplugs for my wife and I. I've got charger cable for one of my flashlights. It's on my rifle there, the Pathfinder one. It doesn't use micro USB, so I guess it's one exception. It's kind of annoying, but it is waterproof, which is kind of a bonus, I guess. Trade-offs. This is a radio duplicator cable. You can just plug it in on one side of a radio, plug it into another radio, and you can send the config across to the other one. So if I run into family members and they don't have the same frequencies I could do, I can just copy it right over. This is a little voltage adapter. I put it inside an Altoids tin. I just got this on Amazon for $8, totally assembled. I just put this inside the Altoids tin, a little cable on it, and this guy can down convert voltages, which is really nice. I've got this charger here. This guy is used to charge up my 18650 batteries. They are what my flashlights use, and it can also do AA's, AAA's, and things like that. So it's got a huge range of lithium-ion batteries it can charge, and the nickel metal hydride AA's, AAA's as well. This is the charger base for my ham radio. Unfortunately, you have to have this. I've looked all over the place trying to find a micro USB ham radio, but I can't find any. All I can find is like a tiny little walkie-talkie, and that just is not acceptable. It doesn't get nearly as good coverage and not nearly as nice. So that's that for the adapters cable thing. I do have some like iPhone adapters and stuff like that in here. I don't own an iPhone, but I can use that to charge family members stuff, because I'm sure if I'm doing this kind of a thing, I'm going to have family members around and they're not going to have recharging capabilities, and so I'll be able to take care of that for them. This is the Boreal 21 folding bow saw by Agawa Canyon. I got a leather sheath in there with a couple of spare blades as well. This is really nice because it folds and unfolds into a single unit. You don't have to touch the blade or anything like that. Folds and unfolds. You don't have these blades exposed inside of your bag. So you can go to this is like $70 or something like that, including shipping. You can go to the Harbor Freight or something like that, buy a bow saw for $10, and I'd highly recommend that. You just got to make sure you put some PVC or something on, or a garden hose on this or something, to keep the blade from slashing open your gear. This is a waterproof dry sack, 10 liter. This is where I keep my food, but if I need to, I can stuff my sleeping bag in here, something like that. I do have a couple of garbage bags as well in my kit that I can use to waterproof something if I needed to, like my electronics or something like that. This is my MSR 10 liter dromedary bag. I love this thing. It can hold 3 gallons, 10 liters, 3 gallons, which is an enormous amount of water. I mean, you fill this up and that's like almost 30 pounds. You're not going to really want to carry it around. Let me put this actually next to the fire. Let it kind of warm up. That thing is just all sorts of stupidly frozen. You just love sitting on my stuff, don't you? On the outside of my pack right here, I've got a first aid kit. My wife doesn't have this on her bag. So I've got the first aid for both of us. I've got triangle bandages, small quick clot, several different medications, anti-diarrheal, and pain medications, things like that. Some large scissors, super glue, lots of little band-aids, stuff like that. Anti-diarrheal is really important because, as far as I can tell, that was one of the things that killed people a long time ago, was dehydration from being sick and having diarrhea and stuff like that. So it's really important. I think that'd be one of the most important things in your kit, that and some pain medication, probably something to deal with some blisters. But let's keep going through this kit. I've got these gloves here. These are a bit frozen. I need to make that rack so I can warm everything back up. These are some puncture resistant, stab resistant gloves because I carve and I stab myself. Got this little cup here which nests nicely on the bottom of my bottle that I've got in the fire. In the fire, that's a clean canteen. I've got a titanium plate here, which was worth it because every titanium plate I could find was like 9 or 10 ounces, or like 8 ounces, something like that. This one's like 2 ounces, so that's a huge difference in size. I'm thinking I want to upgrade my cup and bottle to titanium to get rid of another 5 or 6 ounces, something like that. I've got the lid for my bottle in there. I've got this little guy which is nice, fits nicely on the cup so you can kind of strain things out and stuff like that. It's from the Pathfinder store. Most of the stuff you can just look online and find it. Most of the stuff I've gotten off of Amazon. I've got some Gore-Tex gloves, snow gloves. I don't keep these in my bag. I keep them next to it in our winter clothing bag that my wife and I have. This right here is my GoPro stuff, so not really part of the Bugout, but it is part of making this channel. On the side here, I've got some 750 paracord and an S-beaner. So I've got them cut to length, specific length, so I know that this is a 3 foot, that this is a 6 foot, this is a like 12 foot, this is a 25 foot, and the other side's mirrored 25, 12, 6, 3, 3, 6, and stuff like that. So I've got these already pre-cut to length, so I'm not messing with custom lengths and stuff all the time and recutting and ending up with weird lengths that I don't use again. That is 750 paracord, which means that it can hold 750 pounds of weight. Never tested that. Would love to test it out, see if it can really do that. Brought some, it's one of my P-mags from my AR. These are some green tips. Got some green tips in here. And then in my AR currently, there is some hollow points that I reloaded myself. This dog is going crazy over this. I probably should give it to her. I'm going to warm it up. So this is soup from last night. Hi, Dad soup. Frozen solid. So I'm going to put this next to the fire and warm that up, and I'll give that to the dog. She'll love it. Got to get my spork out of there. So that's a spork as well, part of my cooking kit. I do have a couple little carabiners sitting on the outside of my bag, which I love because I can just clip things to it. Like I have the dog food, just clipped it to it. Had my GoPro bag, clipped it to it. Easy. Alright. This is my North Face. Freaking dang it, dog. Why don't you sit on your stuff? Oh, right, because you soaked it. That's why you're not sitting on it. This is my North Face sleeping bag, North Face Furnace. 550 down, Pro down. It's treated to be water resistant, so it's not so dangerous if it gets wet. I've got underneath it, I've got my Scout, my Thermarest. I was going to say Thermopedic. My Thermarest sleeping mat, which does a decent job. I'm looking at upgrading it to something that gives me a bit more insulation. Though last night it got down to -7 degrees, -8 Celsius, and I was just fine. So the sleeping bag and stuff really performed well. This is my AR-15. In each of these Bugouts I've kind of brought a different gun. This time I decided to just go with an AR-15. Got the Vortex Spark red dot. Can't remember what handrail, but it's a quad rail. I want to switch it over to one of the more streamlined, newer style. I hopped in on ARs right when these started to become unpopular, and so I kind of just barely missed that. Flip up Magpul sights. backup sights. This is the Pathfinder PF25 V1. Flashlight super bright. I got a 15-inch barrel on here. This is the Magpul grip, which has got a little storage unit underneath the bottom so that I've got spare rings and things like that, or spare hammer plug and or hammer pin and stuff like that in there. This is my magazine with my hollow points in it. I have that on here right now for hunting. If I see a rabbit or a raccoon or something like that, I can get it. Right now I've got a round in the chamber, but it is unsafe. I do have the Magpul little trigger dog or whatever the heck they call it. Got that guy on there. I really like that because it just facilitates racking it back and locking it in and then undoing it with one finger. Really nice. I do have the magnifier on my Vortex Spark here. This is my 2-point sling. It can be unclipped from the front to be a single point like that if I wanted it. But I usually keep it at 2-point as I'm walking around. Just gonna keep that right like that. Also inside my kit, I've got got some antacids. I really use those often. Not exactly sure why. I've got some toilet paper, Sawyer. This is a new Sawyer filter. Once you use it, you got to keep it warm so it doesn't freeze. Got my toothbrush kit in here. Got to keep your teeth good. Don't want to get a toothache or something like that there. Pocket fishing kit. This is from the Pathfinder store. I really like that. It comes mostly empty, which is nice because you customize it with your own tackle, what you'd like to have in there. Let's see. What else we got here? We got a dog that's in the freaking way. Aren't you, dog? She knows it. She's like, if I'm in the way, he has to touch me. That's how she gets attention. Has to be in the way. They clearly don't pay enough attention. Too bad dogs aren't ticklish. That'd be wonderful. And I could just tickle her and she'd run away. Oh, she loves it. Loves it. Don't you? Alright, let's see what else. On the top of my bag, this is where I keep the quick access stuff, like my fire kit. This is the K&R compass. It's a really nice compass. It's got a nice little mirror on it. Let's see if my hair looks ridiculous. It's not too bad. Magnifying glass. The compass reservoir well, or whatever you want to call it, is rubbery, so it compresses if you step on it or something like that by accident. Really good compass. Also keep my headlamp up here, and a pen, and stuff to write things down with. A little notepad, write in the rain notepad. Keep my flashlight up there as well, but that's about all I keep up there because I want it so that when I reach in there, I don't have to fiddle through a bunch of items trying to find what I'm looking for. I could just feel really quickly what I'm trying to get. Speaking of which, let me put this flashlight back in there. It's getting to the point where I actually can probably pull out my solar panel and get some charging going. It's still, the sun is just so low because it's winter and it doesn't charge that good right now. I've also got a repair kit in there with diamond sharpening rod, a strop for my little carving thing. Oh, I need to show you the knife. Jeez, the knife, come on. The most important part of your kit, number one item, is the knife. This is the Pathfinder Bad Horse. I got it back when it was like Blind Horse Knives. PLSK1 is a huge, thick knife. I beat the crap out of it and had no problems with it. Kydex sheath with some leather on the back and backup ferro rod on there. I've also got, this isn't so good for the small carving stuff, so I have this carving jack, which is kind of a little multi-tool that has several different, oh man, I just clipped my nails so I can't get anything out, there we go. Several styles of blades on it. So we've got a straight blade, we've got a 90-degree scorp, a push one, I'm not sure what it's called, but it's flat. I've also got one of the most important, which is a hook knife. Hook knives are really important because you want to make spoons or bowls or something like that. You can dig out and into it. It's got a couple other things on there. Really like that for doing the detailed carvings. I do have my ferro rod here. This is something I came up with myself. I don't know if, I'm sure somebody else has thought of this, but I've just seen I've watched a lot of survival shows, and I've seen a lot of people that lose their ferro rod. They have a tiny one and they lose it. So what I got is a big one on a key reel here. It's like a Kevlar cord reel that I clipped onto my pants, so I can keep it like kind of in a pocket. And that way, it's always attached to me. I've always got a knife on me. This is my Leatherman Surge. It's a huge, huge knife, but it was the only one that had the features I wanted. I think that's most of my kit. I do have a little tarp that I've got underneath here, right here. It's a tarp and a space blanket in one. Phenomenal. I love those. That's most of it. I'm sure there's random little things I'm missing. Oh yeah, I do have a little scout bag in here. I keep this thing compresses down to this small, but it unfolds to a backpack about this big. And it can only hold probably, 8 items or something like that. So I put in like my knife, bottle, a tarp, fire starting kit, compass, and like my spot GPS and maybe a couple other things, and that pretty much fills it up. So this is just like a day scout. Like I set up camp like here, and then I want to go scouting around. I do have a magnet I've put on this little lanyard for the zipper here. That is to do a couple purposes. First is for a compass, to magnetize a piece of metal like a needle and make a rudimentary compass. It's also to retrieve things if they're dropped. Say you drop something down a grate and you can't get your hand in there, so you can put that on some paracord, put it down there, and use the magnet to pull it up. It's also used to test silver. So I have a video on that on my channel talking about how you can test silver with a magnet, a couple other tools. So with that magnet, you can test some silver and kind of see what's going on with it. But that's a really fast overview of my kit. This is also my food, and I have a 3-day supply typically in there of Mountain House and some jerky and granola bars, stuff like that. But there's still some other things that I'm missing that I didn't talk about. But I've tried to make this kit to be months worth, to last a long time. A super bug-out bag or something, I don't know what you'd call it. Because typically I would say a bug-out bag is like, I'm leaving home, got some crows going, leaving home, I'm going someplace that I know. This is, I'm leaving home, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know exactly what temperatures or conditions I'm going to run into. All right, oh good, this guy's melting. Fire's dying down a bit here. I'll throw some more wood on it. Got this little oatmeal guy for breakfast. I'm going to take that and my boiling water here. I'm going to pour that in. I think I've got just enough snow melted for this task only. Looks like this guy's melted down a bit. Yep, it's cleared up. Good. That was totally frozen. The dog is, I'm sure, going to want my stuff. Stupid dog. She always refuses to eat her food. This is just some granola with some fruit and stuff in it. Or oatmeal with some fruit and stuff in it. Should be pretty decent for breakfast. Let's see, there's a more flat spot. Oh yeah. So you're licking her jowls there? She's like, oh yeah, I'll gladly take that off your hands. No, dog, but I will give you this thing. Ew. Frozen soup thing. Let's clean off this guy in the snow here. I don't really want my oatmeal to taste like soup. I've got some other stuff besides this. But what we're going to do is we're going to take this, put it in her food so she'll actually friggin' eat it. Instead of just sitting there staring at me creepily. I already make food for you, dog, but you won't eat it. Why? You're too good for your food? You eat it every day. She's eyeing that. She's eyeing it. Let's take this food here. I'm going to put it up on top of here like this. She's not going to want it. Once I throw that, come on, Gotta get it all to more of a bowl shape. I don't want to get this whole bag soaked in this stuff because I don't want her to eat all of it just yet. We'll probably feed her the rest of this tonight, and then tomorrow we'll go home and get her some dog food. All right, here you go, dog. Ooh, that's freaking hot. Okay. She loves that. Careful, it'll hurt you. It's hot. We'll get that more in the fire there. Kind of mix this up so that she wants to eat that dog food. I'll melt some more of that soup for her. That's my leftovers from last night. Kind of made my stomach upset a little bit. I don't really eat canned soup and stuff like that all that often. But that's all right. Good chance to get better. Right there we go. We'll give her the rest of the soup. Keep eating. You're doing just fine. She's all nervous. It's a little bit frozen still, but whatever. She'll gnaw on it. There's probably plenty of calories to counterbalance the coldness in there. She kept sniffing all my bottle and my bag, and I couldn't figure out what she wanted. And I was like, oh, duh, she's thirsty. Gave her some water. It's going good. All right. Got my oatmeal ready to go. Warm breakfast. They're pretty good. I'm gonna pour myself some high C. Got some little high C packets in the store. Oh yeah. How much does this make? Add to bottled water. Too late, my friend. All right, quite a bit of water, 20 ounces. So I'm gonna take my cup, pour my frozen water into it, have a really nice chilled breakfast. Oh, I'm excited for water. Try not to drink too much so I don't have to get up so much in the middle of the night. Go to the bathroom. So my ferro rod just fell out of my pocket, just from natural movement. She just dragged her bag away. But it's on that lanyard, so I'm not worried about it going anywhere. Let's mix this up. See how it is. Man, this stuff is bright red. This must be half dye. Oh yeah. That's some delicious stuff right there. Bright red. This dog is gonna knock this over. No. No. I had some crazy animal rights person come on my channel and threaten me because I pushed Penny away from some boiling water with my foot. It's the most ridiculous thing. I mean, really, I'm holding this boiling water. I put it down. She's like coming up to inspect, and I'm like, no, and I push her away with my foot. You know, I don't kick her. And they're like, how dare you kick your dog? You're the worst person in the world. I reported you to this one animal rights group, and they're gonna ruin your day. And I'm like, all right, dude, calm down. Do you want me to let the dog burn herself? Is that what you want? She doesn't know what that is. She doesn't know what's going on. So many of the people who watch me, some of my longer time subscribers probably see I'm growing out my beard. Never done that before. It's always looked really crappy whenever I don't shave. It's always tried to keep it shaved, but it's actually not looking too bad. It's still pretty thin. My chin area here is pretty good, but over on my sides here and stuff, it's really not good. My mustache isn't the best, but I'm growing it out, and it seems to be all right. Let me know what you guys think. Oh yeah. The crazy animal rights person said I looked like Jared from Subway. Oh man, that was funny. It's nice to have a warm breakfast. You just ate tons of food. I've had like 4 bites, and you had, how much? You had like a 2 cups of that. No. 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 Not getting any. Really excited to see my wife today. It makes it much more fun knowing that she's going to be coming out. They can probably still see me through your face. And I'm not really a loner person. when I was younger, I was kind of more of a loner person, but not now. I enjoy being around people and stuff like that. So it's really nice having my wife around, so I'm looking forward to having her out. I'd love it if I could have some more friends and stuff come. I've got a couple of friends that are interested in this kind of stuff, but I don't know how many could take this kind of rugged. I don't know if I would consider this rugged. I mean, look at all this crap I carried, you know? I don't know if I can consider it rugged, but some people would consider sleeping on snow and stuff to be very rugged, but